Would you say that awareness is enough? Like create awareness of their need or their narrative, like the story to be like, because I feel like sometimes there is almost an impossibility in ours, right? Like I feel like if we really wanted to change the world, we will all be social workers, right? But there is something that attracts us from this profession that at the same time connect us with the frustration of it not being as effective. So the role of being, let's say, the mediators of certain understanding or awareness is one that we hold dear, and at the same time has its own limitations. So I wonder how one sustain affection, caring for what it can be provided through a structure long term.
For me, if your spaces provides also critical thinking, and these people, I mean, I don't think that you need to be the leader of a protest, something like that, but just creating critical thinking, I think maybe the people can be more empowered to require, to access, no? Different spheres to talk, probably.
Or to imagine alternatives, like as a starting point towards realizing or enacting change on a sort of micro and local level. But that's sort of the space to think about. Yeah, as you say, Elvira, like to be aware of what it's like, raising awareness or communicating what is taking place, and the complexities around that. And that involves maybe like the sort of the act of sort of communicating, just as we do now, but in this conversation, it's sort of taking that time to connect one-to-one with people. I
was thinking as well that there's probably a necessity, because I think that frustration, Elvira, comes from a lot of different professions that try to change things, right? So I think probably the only answer is through a coalition of those professions, right? Like we are doing with this project in a way. And I was thinking as well that, of course, the critical thinking that Blanca was referring to, and the collective production of knowledge, right? But also the fact of bringing people together, I think can be very powerful as well, right? I mean, creating new connections, creating networks. I think it's also a fundamental part of all the workshops that we're trying to develop, right? I mean, hoping that empowerment is not only happening individually, but that it also happens as a communal group, right? Which will probably grow exponentially the energy and yeah.
That takes me to a second part of some of the things that I would like us to discuss, which is the notion of community, right? Like how one engage with that and what community means when, let's say, it is performed through, as you were saying, Raúl, a sense of connections and networks and alliances, that coalitions, right? That bring certain interests, or let's say for a common goal center expertise together, but also community as it is orchestrated from the state, from a technocratic power, right? So I feel like that also, in a way, sometimes closeness, and I feel like this is what the world through internet looks like, no? Closeness in a physical space, not necessarily determine community. There are other aspects that do so. And again, we're going back to the way in which we are able and willing to participate and engage in such community or the communities